Visions, I've seen it in my manifestation. I'm sleeping this guy and gonna create the most viral knockout ever. We're sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds.
one thing.
I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass.
Impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
Gervonta Davis erupted after Jake Paul allegedly claimed he'd knock him out in just 3 rounds. A bold jab that's added real fire to an already heated buildup. Critics and insiders alike say this fight puts Davis's legacy at risk. It's unusual for a fighter of his caliber to take on what many see as a mismatch, and a loss could trigger serious doubts about his career choices. But if Davis can silence the hype and overcome Paul's size and power advantage, the win would be unforgettable. A defining moment that could shape how boxing fans remember him for years to come.
I think Davis is more to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. Yeah. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch at lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks
the answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah, but if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion, multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Algieri, the champ, even you, Jimmy, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing, and I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned?
Jake Paul has raised the stakes, boldly promising to deliver the knockout of the year against Gervonta Davis. This isn't just another fight for him, it's a statement. Paul clearly sees this as his chance to prove himself, silence the critics, and carve out an unforgettable moment in boxing history. By chasing a spectacular knockout, he's not only relying on power but also embracing pure showmanship, making it clear that this fight is about more than just winning. It's about making a lasting impact.
Because this thing is going to be watched by hundreds of millions globally. Jake, give the people one thing that you can guarantee that they're going to get on November 14th when they tune in to Netflix.
Yeah, you're going to see the 2 biggest fighters in America go head-to-head with an amazing card. World championship fights back-to-back-to-back. And that's just how the MVP way we do it. And I'm going to come for a knockout of the year again. I've seen it in my visions. I've seen it in my manifestation. I'm sleeping this guy and going to create the most viral knockout ever.
Rolly Romero weighed in on the potential impact of a Jake Paul knockout over Gervonta Davis, arguing it wouldn't seriously damage Tank's legacy. He pointed out that Davis is already a 3-division world champion and a respected name in boxing. In Instagram reels and interviews, Romero stressed that one loss, even a dramatic knockout, doesn't erase years of accomplishments, titles, or dominance across multiple weight classes.
Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him. Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or like all that stuff, right? At the end of it, bro, we just want to do what's best for ourselves, right?
Facts.
Right or wrong.
Facts. Facts.
So just do what's best for you.
Rolly Romero offers a grounded perspective on the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis matchup, insisting that Tank's legacy is already secure. As a multi-division champion with major accomplishments, Davis has nothing to prove by beating Paul. Still, Romero doesn't overlook the challenge. He acknowledges that Paul's size gives him a real physical advantage. While the size gap is a factor that can't be ignored, Romero makes it clear that it doesn't diminish everything Davis has achieved in the sport over the years.
Big for him, but like Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know. Like I said, or as an exhibition, we don't know if they throw at each other or not, or we don't know. I don't know. I can't give an opinion because I don't know what's going on.
Do you think it impacts, will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were to beat him or even knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
Daniel Cormier was visibly shocked upon hearing that Gervonta Davis would be fighting Jake Paul. In a recent clip, DC called the matchup ridiculous, calling it a clear mismatch and questioning why a top-tier pro like Tank would agree to face an influencer boxer. He admitted he never imagined someone of Davis's stature taking this kind of crossover fight. Cormier also raised concerns about the size and power differences, wondering if the spectacle might risk overshadowing the legacy and integrity of Davis's accomplished career.
I swear to God, I was on a plane coming home from Las Vegas when Luis told me Gervonta Davis is fighting Jake Paul. I said, get the bleep out of here. I said, you're a bleep liar. Jake Paul is fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. Gervonta Davis is that much better than Jake Paul at boxing. But Gervonta Davis in his last fight weighed 133.8 pounds. And I'm not over here in the business of just crapping on Jake Paul. I am much more respectful of what he's starting to build as a professional boxer. You're fighting a guy that's better than you. He's just much smaller. But that guy, because he's better than you, what if he wins? Everything Jake Paul has done is wiped completely out. Gervonta Davis loses to Jake Paul. Obviously, it's going to hurt who Gervonta Davis is, but he lost to a guy that's going to be upwards of 70 pounds bigger than him when he steps into the boxing ring. But I will tell you this right now, without a shadow of a doubt, I will watch this. Tank Davis is 30-0-1. You want to talk about Jake Paul fighting a real boxer? That's a real boxer. You can't make this stuff up, man. It's true. They're fighting.
KSI has criticized the growing focus on hype and spectacle in crossover boxing, arguing it blurs the line between sport and entertainment. In a recent video, he called out Jake Paul for ruining influencer boxing, suggesting Paul's tactics prioritize attention over true athletic merit.
AJ and Jake was never going to happen.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought it was actually going to happen? Bro, it's so crazy. I feel like so many people just believe everything online.
But that's pretty unbelievable on the other hand.
I feel like I know. Well, okay, how do I say it like this? Atoma versus White. I had a lot of people bet on White winning. And I'm there like, you guys don't watch boxing, do you? You just look at a record and go, Dylan's fought many more people than Atoma. That record says a lot. Atoma's like 18, not 18, Atoma's 20. Inexperienced, one. I just knew Atoma was gonna just destroy him, and I think a good fight for Atoma would be him and Wilder.